Welcome to DubLife Diaries, the podcast where passion meets the open road. I'm Joe Person, your host and also a lifelong dubber. Buckle up because this ride is just beginning. This podcast is sponsored by Volksmania magazine. Good times, great cars, awesome Volksmaniacs. Visit volksmania.com to learn more about this class-leading VW magazine. All right, welcome back to DubLife Diaries. This is going to be a fun one, guys. I got a young man that is just an awesome young dude. I'm so stoked to have this guy on the show. Here's what I want you to do. Roll with me for a second, all right? Picture this. You're 16 years old. You're driving a Ford Ranger truck when you spot a blue 1972 Super Beetle sitting on the side of a dealership lot. You fall in love with this car instantly, okay? The problem is the dealer wants $12,000 for this car, and you're wondering to yourself, how in the hell am I going to afford this thing? Now, where most people would move on, not this guy, not my next guest, all right? He went home and check this out, wrote a song about the car, okay? That song ended up winning an international songwriting competition. A year later, after some heartbreak, he went back to buy this Beetle, only to find out this dealership now has been shut down and the owner disappeared while facing some legal issues. Now, where the dream would have ended there for most people, again, not my next guest. So while scrolling on Facebook Marketplace one evening, he noticed something that almost nobody else ever would have seen. He saw the rear bumper of this exact same Beetle hiding in the background of a completely different car listing. What? I mean, how cool is that? Now, sold his truck as fast as he could, tracked this Beetle down, bought it, and then spent the last couple of years of his life pouring every dollar from his part-time job, every late night, every busted knuckle, every ounce of determination, bringing this car back to life. Today, he still drives that exact same Volkswagen. He's pulled the engine a couple times. He's broken down probably more times than he'd like to admit. He's made some lifelong friends because of this little blue Beetle, and he's proving that sometimes the craziest dreams are the ones worth chasing, right? This is one of those stories that reminds you that a Volkswagen is never just a car, all right? Let's get into it. Aiden Fleischman, welcome to DubLife Diaries.
What up? I'm glad to be here.
What's up, man? Heck yeah, dude. Happy to have you. You know, we talk a lot on this podcast about the youth, right? We talk about how it's up to us, like the older guys that are in the culture, to make the youth get excited about it. Brother, you're excited about it already, right? It's like we got to slow you down. So I'm super excited to have you on. Thank you so much for taking the time, not just to register, but to be willing to come on and share your story with us, with the Volkswagen community. So before we dive in, let me give a couple shout outs to my sponsors. First up on the list, Volksmania magazine. You guys know how I feel. Check these guys out, volksmania.com. You can use DubLife10, DUBLIFE, the number 10 at checkout. You get 10% off your subscription. Gotta subscribe. Also, U.S. subscribers only. So that discount code will not work outside the U.S. I say this a lot on my podcast. How cool is it that I have to say that? Because I actually have people in other countries trying to use that discount code. Get out of here. That's so cool. All right. Next up on the list, Trippin' Seed Tie-Dye. I got to give these guys some love. Levi, Sherry, you guys hooked me up. Not only did I get this shirt from them, but they made me a Mickey Mouse theme that's red and black and obviously on a white shirt. But it's got Mickey Mouse ears and a big badass VW logo. So, I mean, if you guys are looking for a cool custom tie-dye, give Trippin' Seed a follow, give them a like, check them out on YouTube and Instagram. Next up, Salty Dub, from the beach to the bay. Salty Dub is tearing up the west coast of Florida. Really, we're getting out there. We're seeing a lot more than the west coast of Florida. But epic events and swag. Right now, we got our vent clips on the website. These are the little clips that that go around your vent clip on your classic car, your classic Dub, to keep those windows open. Most of us that know that don't take the door cards off, that don't tighten up that little nut down there underneath, we know that those vent clips can blow closed, right? As soon as we get out of second gear, or at least we're doing some highway driving, Those vent clips or those vents always close. So we came up with a clip. They're super cool. I'll put some pictures on them so you can see them. But yeah, check us out, saltydub.com. Same discount code applies, DubLife10. You can use it at checkout, get 10% off your merch. The whole fall lineup for all the events coming up are also there right now. Beach Bash, we're selling tickets, registration for Beach Bash, the Skyway PM ride, and then V-Dubs on the Pier, which is also coming up January 23rd. Awesome. All right, last shout out, my friend, and then it is all back to you. This episode is all about you. Is Vera Upholstery right here in my backyard, St. Petersburg, Florida. Check these guys out, veraupholstery.com. When I say epic interiors, I mean it. What started in the marine industry now last year opened up the automotive line. Alan Guvara and his team busting out some award winning interiors. When I say award winning, I'm saying they won Bug Jam, best in class in that 1973 Volkswagen thing. When I say sick, I mean it. I mean, the Volkswagen logo is in the stitching, y'all, the seats, right on the perimeter of the seat. I'll put pictures in. You guys, epic, dude. I mean, some of the coolest work, real true craftsman when it comes to his craft for sure. But check these guys out, veraupholstery.com. It's VARA. My man, it is
Oh,
back
man.
to you, sir. Back to you, man. You about ready to get into this?
Let's get it.
All right, brother. So, for those that want to know, tell me, how old are you now?
So I'm 18 now, and I'm going to college. I just graduated this year. This is like my last summer. So I'm free before I'm
Wow.
off to the world.
So 18. So I will tell you, you are probably one of the youngest people that have ever been on this podcast, which is really cool in my opinion. But does it feel weird kind of realizing that you already have this incredible VW story?
It does feel a little weird sometimes because I go to a lot of shows. I go to anytime I'm at a gas station or at Walmart, I always get stopped. Like I'm kind of become almost like a little local icon around here. I'm not trying to boast about myself, but like everyone kind of knows me as the kid with the blue bug. And it's just really because I have people come to me all the time. They tell me stories. They tell me all these times, and some stories I probably shouldn't be hearing at this age, and some stories are kind of fun.
You know, that's the reason I started this podcast. I've got a life, in these cars. I bought my first one when I was 16 as well, right down here in 1996 and in St. Pete. 72 also, but a standard Beetle, and it was an auto clutch, and it was a great, great, great car. But I heard the same stuff, right? I heard all these same stories and stuff and really got bit by the culture at a really young age. So I've seen this. But again, the reason I started the podcast is because I have a lifetime in these stories, hearing these stories. So I value what you're saying. I'm glad that you're attracted to it. My kids close to your age. I've got one that's 19, one that's 21, one that's 16. Dude, I'm kind of right here with you. My kids, I've only got one out of five that are even interested in Volkswagens, and he's got a 2022 MK 7.5.
Ooh,
Yeah, nice car.
that is a very nice car.
Yeah, it's a
And
nice
one
car.
thing, my goal was for when I'm this age and time, I want to be that dad with the really cool stories that are like unbelievable. That's just what I want to be.
Brother, you're working on it, okay? We're gonna get into it, but tell me this: when did you actually first kind of get hooked on cars?
So my grandpa has always been into cars. I remember the earliest car I remember having, he actually had a Porsche 911. It was 26 brand new, 2016 911. And my parents tell me that I've been into cars before that. I'm like they tell me they have pictures of me. I would literally line up all my Hot Wheels on the ground and name off, trying like it would go almost like classes. Like this is a fast car. This is a car likes to go off the road. And it's like I would kind of organize them from that and
Yeah, cool,
kind of
man.
built and built and built. And then you know, of course, I got hooked on Fast and Furious and all that and
Yeah.
had all that dreams and all. And I think I remember I watched Smokey and the Bandit and I was just absolutely captivated by that Trans Am. that I wanted those older cars. So,
So let's talk about Volkswagens then.
oh yeah,
Were they kind of already on the radar, like even before
actually,
this Blue Beetle, or was this like
actually,
your first taste of it?
no, no. I was always a Ford guy.
Okay.
I I still love Fords this day. Me and my grandpa, we do old Fords and all that. He has a '57 Thunderbird that I like to take out. And the Volkswagen kind of, as soon as I saw it, the reason I kind of fell in love with it because it kind of looked at me. It's really weird to explain, but it felt like in that dealership lot when I passed by it, it looked at me
That's
and
fucking
it like was
awesome.
like, "Help me!" And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I like Volkswagen." I went and checked it out, and I knew I was so green when it came to Volkswagens. Like I had no clue what I was looking at, and if I thought $12,000 was like I guess the regular price, even though I've come to figure out this car is definitely not worth that amount of money.
Hey man,
But
it's worth whatever you're willing to pay for it, brother.
yeah, but yeah, it kind of that's where it kind of started was looking at the bug from across the road, and I went and checked it out, and I was just that's when it kind of started. I kind of started to research them more, and I did kind of like the idea that it was a good first classic car because
Great.
when I was of course when all of us are 16, we want to have this like we have this dream of having like a Mustang. We want to have a fast car. We want to have a cool car, flashy. It's and then as heard when you get older, that kind of goes away, but it's not going away. But yeah, it kind of that idea was there, and I wanted a classic car. Like I said, ever since I was little, I wanted classic cars. I always dreamed of having one, and everyone said that Volkswagens were the best one to start out with because they're easy to work on, reliable, the whole nine yards for a classic car. They're the best to start out with.
So let's kind of journey here then because you didn't buy it right away, right? Didn't you talk to them at the dealership? They told you the price. You were like, "Holy crap, 12 grand, I can't really afford that at this point." So like kind of walk me through, what happened because it didn't take you like a year or so to acquire the car after
Oh, it
you
did.
first found it? Yeah.
It did. So I'll tell you about you exactly. So I was coming down Highway 98 going towards Navarre, Florida, and then I come to a stoplight and I look to my left and there's a big Chevy Tahoe and then a Toyota Prius, I think. And then in the middle of all these like brand new cars, I'm telling you, it stuck out like a sore thumb. Like, and by the way, the size difference from a car today and the Bug is wildly different. And so I look, I'm like, wow, that's a little outcast over there. So, and of course, I fell in love with it, and it immediately stopped what I was doing. I forgot what I was doing at the time, and I pull over into the lot and I check it out, and I'm looking at it, and I see a big old price tag on the back windshield. It says 12 grand. I'm like, dang, I'm broke. I ain't got 12 grand. So then the dealer walks up to me, and he's a guy. We'll say that. He's a guy, and he's walking me through it, and I remember him starting it, and I was like, whoa, and like you could not wipe the smile off my face whenever he started it, and I was like completely captivated by this car, and I started talking to him like, hey, well, how about this? I have that truck right there. I'd trade you for it, or at least trade it so I can put a little bit down on it, something like that. Make him an offer, and he calls the guy that it was consigned under, and the guy said no, absolutely not. He was trying to get rid of it. So
Sure.
I kind of took my loss there, went and did whatever I was doing. And I came back home and picked up my guitar and I opened up my notebook and I just started kind of writing a bit, started writing a nice little melody. And I got this really nice chord progression going down. And I kind of started thinking about the Bug. I couldn't stop thinking about it. So I started writing about it. And as a 16-year-old, you want a girlfriend. So I want a Volkswagen Bug and a pretty girl. That's what I want. That's the only two things I need in life right now. So, And what's funny is I've either had one or the other. So yeah, they that's kind of what the song was about, was that this yearning for having this bug. Like I can't stop thinking about it. I couldn't get off my mind. I went home and I told my parents about it. They were like, "Yeah, that's a little out of reach, but we can do that. Maybe put your mind to it."
Yeah, man. Good to have that encouragement, right?
Yeah.
But most kids, right? They don't go home after some disappointment and write a song, right? I mean, that's like, so talk to me about being musical. Is that something that have you always been kind of a musical cat?
Oh yeah. I see. Here's the thing. I grew up listening to like CCR. I don't know if you know Tab Benoit. He's a
I don't.
really good. So he's a really, really good blues player. I've grown up on the blues because the blues is about
Okay.
letting blues out.
Okay, cool, man.
And my whole life, I've just listened to music. And I remember when I was probably about 7 or 8 years old, I remember picking up my mom's little acoustic guitar, and I just kind of started learning. And I started taking lessons, and it just kind of came to this now, where I'm playing shows and I'm writing music, and I have a whole collection of guitars, and I just I just love to play. It's almost like a release, like it's a therapy almost.
Yeah, understand that. And something else I wanted to touch on before I get too far past it. I've talked to a lot of other cats in the past about these cars. Naturally, this is what this is, a Volkswagen podcast, right? And we always kind of draw the same conclusion that like a cat, these cars actually find us. So when you say, man, I don't know, it was just like it was smiling at me, it was looking at me, I'm telling you, it just kind of breeds into the psyche of these cars actually do find us. They have a way of finding us. And the ones that are supposed to be a part of our journey, they end up becoming a part of our journey one way or the other. But the coolest thing is, man, did you ever imagine in your life that this song that you wrote would end up becoming an international songwriting competition winner?
No, so not in a million years now. It was actually a lot for me to go into that competition, because as songwriters and poets, we don't like to share our stuff, because sometimes it gets personal. It
Okay.
gets sometimes, because I know I write about heartbreak, I write about disappointment, I write about happy things, I write about positive things. I like to keep a good balance, but those things that they're personal, so I don't really like to show people my work.
Ah,
So I go to this competition, and it's gosh, it's like a strange thing. It's a strange feeling, because I've never shown it. My parents have never heard my music. Nobody has ever heard my music except myself.
wow.
So that was a first time for everybody. And it surprisingly blew everyone out of the water. And I was like, oh wow, so my music is good. So people like this stuff. So I kept writing and I kept writing, and I wrote a lot of blues songs, and I feel, what's nice is I feel a lot more comfortable doing that now, is showing people my work and doing that. So
So, did you ever think, or did the thought ever cross your mind that had that trade been accepted when you first offered it, if you would have somehow found a way to get this car off that car lot in the very beginning when you first found it, maybe the song never happens?
yep, the song would have never happened.
Wow, man.
I'm
I
telling you,
mean,
that song would have never happened.
it's so
I would have pulled up in the bug and just kind of went on from there.
yeah, it's cool what disappointment sometimes can bring, right? So
It's an
sometimes some of
opportunity.
the greatest opportunities in our life are born from disappointment, are born from heartache, from things that don't end up coming to fruition, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
100%. That's what the blues is. It's
Uh,
disappointment. It's heartbreak.
yeah,
And
cool.
the song that the Volkswagen song that I wrote, it was a little more cheerful, and it had more of like a Paul McCartney vibe to it. But a lot of the songs I write are blues. There's a lot of Ray Vaughan inspiration from it. There's a lot of Albert Albert King in it. Just a lot of just pouring my soul out. When you can't say something, you say it through music.
Very cool.
That's what you do.
Yeah, understood. Do you perform the song still or to this
I
day?
do.
Yeah, do you?
So I do. one of my most popular songs is called Cold Sunday. It's about, again, heartbreak. It's a cold Sunday, all my summer's gone away, and it's a killer song. And I remember playing it one time. I was at the Pensacola Gallery night and I was playing it, and I was in so into that song that I literally started bleeding all over my guitar. My hands were just going nuts.
Wow.
I have pictures and video. It was awesome.
That's
I never felt
freaking
so cool in
wild.
my life.
What were they bleeding from? From playing the guitar?
From playing the guitar.
Yeah, wow, man.
I could show you, my guitar was covered in blood. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. Probably a little awesome. Probably a little wild too, right?
Yeah, it's just the soul, man. It's the soul of the blues.
Now, you had mentioned in your storyline about getting out of a bad breakup. How much does something like that make you kind of rethink your life and what's what direction you're going and all that type of stuff?
So as a 16-year-old, when you find your lady was getting around with another man,
Hmm.
you just kind of you think about what you could do, what you could have done different. You could have done, like, what did I do? Why did I deserve that? And you just honestly, if I could give advice to anybody in the world in a breakup, don't take things too serious. If you're taking too serious, you won't get hurt. If you're not hurt, you're having fun. And if you're ever lonely, you go to music.
That's deep, bro. That's deep. Now, looking back, for me, being your age, I went through a similar thing. I had a long, pretty long-term relationship, same similar situation. I got cheated on, etc. I'm not trying to lay it all out here and do this woe is me, but I remember being a young man and having that type of heartache, and I remember the feeling. And when you were just kind of talking about that feeling, it kind of brought me back there. I've been with my wife 25 years, and we have a fantastic relationship, 5 kids together. So it's been a very long time since I've experienced any type of pain like this. But I remember the pain so was so deep that I could barely eat. I could barely eat any food. Like
I remember,
nothing.
yeah,
It
it
was
was
hard, bro.
it
Yeah.
was hard, and like
Yeah.
it's not fun. I mean, I think everybody goes through it, but honestly, you just gotta. You're young, you gotta do. It's just it's what happens.
Yeah.
So you just gotta have fun and enjoy the moments that you have with them, and just look back and don't ever think anything went bad.
I remember my dad told me back then, he's like, look, life goes on. It's not, it's not gonna make sense right now, but please understand. And, life goes on. You got to eat, you got to get up, you got to, make the best of your day still. And I started to, he told me back then, time heals everything. The more time that passes, the easier it's going to get. And brother, let me tell you, as soon as I got my life back together, it was probably 3 months, maybe 4 months, where I started, being normal again, and being willing to just, not think about her all day long and have
Yeah,
her consume my world. As soon as I got back to normal, she wanted to come back.
that's always what happens, man.
I
That's
know.
always what happens. They come crawling back.
They come crawling back. My dad was like, "Don't you dare take it from
Nope,
me! I
don't do it.
promise you." Blah blah blah. You know what I did? I took her back. Yeah. She broke my heart again.
But
But
hey,
you
women
live
break
and you
your
learn.
hearts. Women break your hearts. Bug just break down.
You live and you learn, right?
You live and you learn. Hey,
All
women
right,
break
so
your heart, and bugs just break down.
yeah, there you go. There you go. So moving past the relationship and moving past some of that heartache, let's go back to some positive stuff and talk about after you couldn't buy the Beetle and you went through and you won this contest. uh let's talk about what buying the Beetle looked like now. So in the timeline, you go back to this dealership now because what did you win? Did you win a sum of money, or like, tell me what winning this contest did for you?
So winning the contest was more like bragging rights. um, I think I got like $100 or something like that, and then I also got
Oh,
like a T-shirt, and I got a little gift bag. I think I had some guitar picks, a capo, and just like
okay.
a notebook or something like that. It was just some regular little awards, and it wasn't just like the physical awards. It was the mental. It was honestly a mental award.
Okay.
because like again, like I said, I was scared to show people my music, and now
Right.
that I really people like it, it's out there. So um
So you go
but
back to this dealership to look for
yeah,
this car, and the car and the dealership are gone.
the whole thing was gone. Like it felt like the week before I saw it, and then it was gone. Like it was the wildest thing. So I go up there, and it's like the whole lot is chained off. And later, when I went to back to the guy that had the car consigned, the original owner of the car, he actually told me the story about how the guy that owned the lot, he knew him pretty well, and he had a DUI charge, and he was skipping on court.
Oh,
And
dang. You can't do that.
the police came and just shut it all down and arrested him. And
Oh,
I remember him saying the police called him and goes, "Yeah, you need to get all these cars out of here because I'm gonna get back to all the cars in a minute."
wild. I mean, it almost sounds like a movie, truly.
I know it does. It's just this system of events that's happening. Like it kind of went through my head. Like, does it really? Does this? Am I really destined to get this bug?
Yeah, bro. Now it gets even cooler, right? And again, these cars find you, okay?
Exactly.
Okay, so walk us through this. Now, this whole marketplace experience kind of enters the picture. So, tell everybody what you're doing on marketplace. What are you looking for, and what do you actually see?
Honestly, at the time, I kind of it was probably about a month later after I figured out the dealership had closed down and it just wasn't I hadn't seen it since. I was looking for a bug because ever since I saw that one, I wanted one. There was no doubt about it that I wanted one. And I wouldn't stop bugging my parents about it. I was telling everybody that I wanted one. And I'm just kind of scrolling through Marketplace and I'm looking through other bugs and I found a crispy listing for a gold 76 280Z. Like I'm telling like this thing was a deal.
Wow.
11 grand for a pristine condition. When I've seen those things go for 30, $40,000.
Wow.
And I look in the background and I see the deck lid and I see on the back because I could tell it was the same bug because it had this sticker on it that said like it was like a political party sticker on there.
Okay.
You can vividly see it and you can see the deck lid and you can see the bumper and I was like that's that same bug I was looking at. I was like, oh. So I messaged the guy. I'm like, how much do you want for that? He's like, 5 grand. Come and get it.
Whoa,
Are
bro.
you serious? That price dropped quick. I went straight to my parents and I was like, we're getting that bug. And they're like, where's the 5 grand? And I'm like, well, how am I going to get 5 grand? So I didn't want this bug to sell. I did not want somebody to come and scoop it up and me not ever see it again. So this is the part I didn't tell you in my description was I actually went to my grandmother and she is the one of the real reasons I have it because she goes, I will loan you the 5 grand.
Oh, wow.
And she put so much trust in me. I paid her back within 24 hours.
Dude.
I
Very
put
cool.
the I put my I had a 94 Ford Ranger, which by the way was so pimped out. Like this was a 90s kid's dream. It had a sub box, crisp metal flake paint, white walls. Like it was the whole 9 yards, man. And
Wow.
I sold that perfectly running truck for this car that I don't even know runs. It's been sitting in a barn for God knows how long. Went in a consignment lot, and some guy came look at it every once in a while. And it's just one thing after the next. I'm like, well, should I have sold the truck? And I go up there, and we go. And by the way, my parents did not know I knew how to drive a stick. I had learned on a buddy's car of mine. He had a twin turbo Dodge Neon that I learned on.
A Dodge Neon. Heck yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, "And you don't know how to drive a stick?" I'm like, yeah, I do." And they didn't. So they got my grandma to because she drove a Z28 with a 4 speed and for her whole life. She still drives six to this day. And we get in the car, it barely starts, and it's sitting there backfiring, spitting pops out of the back, and she gets in and she can't figure out how to put it in reverse. Bugs have a very specific way to put it. You have to like go down and then up, then back, and then you're just like, how do I do this? So we spent like a good 3 minutes. And by the way, the guy would not show us how to do it. So we were like sitting there struggling, we're grinding gears and all that, trying to put it in reverse. And we finally got it by reading that little pattern on the cigarette box.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sick. Crazy, man.
And then we get going and it runs out of gas probably in like 30 feet. Like, all right, that was a good test drive. But in that point, I knew it could start. I knew it would start. And when it did start, you could not wipe the smile off my face because I knew this car was mine.
Awesome.
So, and the paint you see on that picture is all original. That was like one of the only good parts about it was the paint.
That's all original too.
That's all original.
That thing looks great, bro.
Yeah.
Must have been
So,
inside or something for a number of years.
so it was actually kept in a warehouse for 40 years.
Holy shit. What year is this one again?
This is a 72 Super Beetle.
72. Yeah, 72.
So he bought it for his son to drive around. His son drove it around for a little bit, and then his name is Eric. His name's Eric. Let's call him Eric. And Eric, he's a car collector. He had 98 cars in that warehouse, and he just pulls the bug out. He had, I'm telling you, GT40s, GT500s, Mustang fastbacks. He had probably 4 buses in there, a couple things, 3 more Beetles in there that he just liked. And he was like, I just want to get rid of this one. I never drive it. I don't really work on it. So it's just there, you know? So I'm like, okay, well, I'll take it. And we start talking numbers. I'm talking with Eric and we start talking numbers. And I go, well, you want 5 grand for it. I'm gonna tell you what, I'm gonna offer you 4,500 and I'll take it right now. Because I had the cash on me. And he goes, biggest blessing of all time. You're a nice kid. I'll give it to you for 4 grand. He knocked off the price himself.
Wow, bro.
And what's really funny is like the business side of me. I like to do sales. I like to sell things and wanted to keep a straight face, but I couldn't. I couldn't keep a straight face the whole time looking at the car. I didn't care that it ran out of gas. I didn't care that it broke down. I was like, this is awesome. So yeah, I bought the car for 4 grand. And he actually owns a towing business out in the local city, Pensacola. And he's like, I'll get it towed to your house. So
Okay.
he towed it to our house, and we had it express delivery right there in my driveway. And in the morning, I woke up with a puddle about that big in the driveway. And I'm like, well, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be a roller coaster.
So walk me through. You get this car. Like, what are some of the first things that you notice or that go wrong aside from running out of gas and aside from this puddle?
So the reason that so I know all Volkswagens leak oil. I kind of noticed that over time. And one of the biggest problems I had was it left, it didn't leave a mark. It left a puddle. Like I have pictures of it where I came home from work and it's just like a whole quart just coming down. And I would have to, I remember every day in high school, I had to refill I kept like a gallon of oil. I mean, every day when I left, I would have to refill it. It was I probably spent like $80 a month on oil. And I think the first thing that went wrong was actually the whole ignition system. It was super old and dated. The spark plugs were all seized to the heads, and
Wow.
it took me like by the way, I had never touched an engine in my life. I had never worked on a motor. I've done subsystems. I've done all this really like cosmetic work a teenager is going to do,
Right.
but I'd never touched a motor before, so I had no clue what I was doing. So I'm kind of winging it here, and I changed the spark plugs, and the backfiring stopped. So I'm like, that was an accomplishment. And then we take it on its maiden voyage. On the maiden voyage, we went to Walmart, of all places to go. We went to Walmart, and we actually broke down in the Walmart parking lot. The fuel pump went out. Literally, like I've owned this car for like 3 days,
Dude.
and it's just one thing after the next. And that's when kind of a regret set in. But I kept like, I'm persistent. I keep going. I'm like, this is going to work. I'm going to make this thing a tank. So we get it. I pretty much just like jerry rig the fuel pump to like pump fuel again. And we get it home. By the way, Walmart's like 3 minutes from my house. So it's not like a 30-minute drive or anything like that.
Sure.
But we get it going again. And I park it and I didn't, by the way, I didn't know it was the fuel pump when the fuel pump went out. Kind of sort of like I just kind of like kept touching stuff and squeezing fuel lines and all that and like messing with stuff until it started again in a Walmart parking lot. And we just kind of I bought a new carburetor for it, and that was the biggest mistake I think I've ever made. Was that was the first lesson is buy good parts, buy German parts, buy nice. I literally bought I think like a $50 carburetor off of Amazon,
Oh no. Yeah.
and that
Good,
thing
good,
clunked
good
my
point.
car for like a month and a half. I could not figure it out. Again, I'm green. I am green as the grass that grows in my yard.
Mhm.
It's like I didn't know what was going on. And one of my buddies, my neighbor, he came over and he kind of taught me a few things. His name's Justin Price. He comes over and he's very patient with me. And he teaches me all these things about this car, and I'm slowly learning things and making mistakes, busting knuckles, doing all this stuff. And over time, I start to learn more things, and and I start to do some things on my own. Like I don't know, I changed the exhaust, and I put some cool mods on it that make it cooler, make it faster.
You've even pulled the engine a couple times, right?
I have,
Yeah. So I mean,
which is
you've gone through some stuff. Like, to bring us up to speed, like what are all the ways that you've kind of brought this thing back to life and made it your, dependable daily driver?
dependable daily driver. It's still in the works, but but walking through all the things that I did, it was a lot of trial and error.
Okay.
I tried to do a vacuum advanced conversion, and the car didn't like that. I was 30 miles from home, and literally the distributor just cut out on me. And I knew it was the distributor because the gas went into the float bowl. I was like, all right, the car doesn't want it. So actually, it was the Volkswagen Club, the local Volkswagen Club, that towed me back home. So and that's another thing of the Volkswagen Club. I entered that, and they've helped me a lot through this as well. And I put one of those empty glass packs on there, which that sounds pretty cool. I made a surf rack. One of the guys from the club actually donated that rack to me. It
Cool,
was
man.
it's a 1960 rack, and it was pretty in bad shape. Like you could touch the wood and it would just snap. And I completely restored it, re-chromed it, did everything. I tried my best to fix all the rust, but it just kept going. So that's just like it's kind of a part of the car now because the rack is like crooked. It's crooked a little bit, so it's kind of like an icon of the car. It's the crooked rack. It's nice because I can take my surfboards around, go surfing on the beach, and just I've done so much like fun stuff to the car. I've The reason I pulled the engine the first time was because I wanted to do a full clutch job. Like I wanted to do throwout bearing, pressure plate, clutch, flywheel, rear main seal. I wanted to get through that whole inside of the motor. And then I did the transmission mounts. I did everything while I was down there. While we're here, might as well do it. So, and that's actually was a super easy job. I learned a lot from that. I never pulled a motor on a Volkswagen. I pulled the motor on an MG Midget before, but I never pulled the motor on a Volkswagen. I didn't know I had to go down, not up. That was a little weird. I was like, this thing goes under the car. Okay. So we did the full clutch job, and what's funny was a week later, um, I have to pull a motor again, and that was the most frustrating fix I think I've ever had to do because I
Wow.
just pulled the motor. I just did it. I don't want to do it again. So what happened was this torque wrench that I was using, I set it to like 400 foot-pounds or something like that. And it was actually the spring inside of it was broken and I didn't know it. And it only went up to 200, but it's set up to 400.
Oh no.
So I torque it down and only goes to 200, but I didn't know it. So I pull the motor again and I lock that thing down like it ain't moving. That's like a Jesus bolt right there. And it was actually the club that helped me again. They are always there for you. And that's something I've learned is that the club is always there. So
We're going to talk about the club in a little while. Tell me how it feels being, a young man, 18-year-old kid, now driving something, daily, even that you actually personally rebuilt yourself?
Um, it feels a little over time, I'll be honest, over time when you drive it, it kind of just becomes a normal car to you. If you drive something every day, it's gonna become a normal car. But the fact that like it makes me smile every time someone I see it in a parking lot and somebody will come up like check it out or something like that. It's just this is not something that everybody does. Like I went above and beyond to get this car and get it right and learn off of it. I made a vow to myself when I bought the car to never take it to a shop. Never take it to a shop. I had to learn everything.
I really dig that about you. I really do, because it's not every day that, a young person is going to come into this scene and kind of have that, I don't know, man, kind of that old soul,
Yeah.
mentality, and talking about your club, which is Oil Slicker Society. We're going to talk about them here in a second, but I love what you've experienced because we say this in the culture all the time, right? People come for the cars, but they stay for the people. So obviously that is very true to you. You've kind of found your home with Oil Slicker Society. Talk to us about that. How did you meet Glenn?
So
Cool.
Glenn, there was an event. I've always kind of seen Glenn around on the group, the Facebook page and all that, and I've never actually met him in person before. So we have a lady in our group called Volkswagen Barbie. She
Yeah,
had,
I know her.
yes.
She's been on the podcast.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, Volkswagen Barbie, she hosted an event at her house called Barbie's Tech Session Campout.
I
And the
mean,
campout,
bro, how cool can you be?
I know, seriously. So
Seriously.
the tech session campout was normally once a month we do our annual tech session where it's for a few hours we'll all get together and we help each other work on our cars. That's what we do. I've
I
been to
wish we
four or
had
five
that
of them.
here. We don't have that in the Tampa market. I wish we
Yeah,
did.
you should start it. You should start a tech session if you know anybody with a lift. And
I
so
do
we all
actually,
just
and we have talked about that.
so we kind of all get together and we work on our cars, but we've never done one where it's like multiple days. This one was a 3 day long tech session.
Damn. Cool,
So
man.
and I this was the first time I ever pulled my motor as well. So I got the kind of easy way where I got to put it on a lift and do all that. So people kind of criticized me on that. Oh, you did the easy way. Well, I pulled the motor and I got it fixed, so I don't care.
Bro, that's not the easy way. You did it the smart way.
Yeah. So we and by the way, I've never done anything that's really camping before. So this is my first time sleeping in a tent. So we get on Barbie's house, and I'm not gonna tell you all about their big compound or anything like that, but they have a lot of land,
Yeah.
and I'm the first actually in line for the lift, so I get up there, and it's about 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I start working on my car. Just I have all the parts here. I'm by myself, and we're just here, so I'm gonna start working on it. Get first dibs on the lift. So on the lift, I'm doing there. I'm starting to kind of scout out, and I have scout out everything. And then Glenn shows up, and Glenn, he's a really nice. He's very tall. So Glenn and I, we start talking, we start chatting, we start to really bond together. And he starts helping me work on my car. He teaches me how to kind of pull my motor and what the bolts are, and kind of tricks on how to do it a little bit. And yeah, he was a super big help on that whole tech session.
I
And
love his
actually,
teaching style. I've watched a shit ton of his videos and I
yeah,
just love his teaching style.
it's amazing the way he teaches.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
what was really nice about Glenn, and I'm kind of glazed Glenn for a minute here, was the fact that he didn't at that tech session, which is a crazy story, was I worked on my car for 48 hours straight, no sleep, literally going off energy drinks. I was doing stuff nonstop. I replaced all the fuel lines. I went through the motor. I rebuilt the fan, went through the alternator, did the intake boots, and I just kept going deeper and deeper into this car just to get it done. And I actually haven't leaked a drop of oil since then.
Dude, that's crazy. In fact, it's all coming together for me now. When Glenn was on the podcast, we talked. I don't remember if it made the show, but we talked about you, and he had
Oh,
mentioned that
really?
somebody from the tech sessions that was leaking a whole bunch of oil since that tech session isn't leaking any oil at all. And I was like,
Yeah,
whoa,
it hasn't
man,
leaked a
that's
drop
great.
since.
That's you.
It,
That's cool.
that's me. Well, it's a small world.
Yeah.
So we we actually so it got to a point and people started showing up. Everyone started kind of showing up, and there was probably about 100 people there, all kind of just
Yeah.
helping each other out. And we were all there was a bunch of
Badass, dude.
it was a big old Volkswagen show, and I'm still on the lift. I'm doing all this stuff, and Glenn stayed up with me till 4 o'clock in the morning and helped me work on my car.
Wow, dude. What a cool guy, man.
And he helped me do all of it. And what I really like about Glenn is that he understood this is my car. I'm going to do what I want to do with it. I'm going to go as far as I want to go. I'm not going to try and hate on the other guys, but a lot of the other guys, they're kind of arguing over whose way was the best. Glenn goes, "This is the way I would do it. I'm going to recommend this, but if you don't want to do it that way, that's completely fine. We'll do it another way. If you don't feel comfortable doing that to your car, that's okay." So that just made me feel very comfortable there, and it was a lot of like, well, you should do this, you should do this, and then people started messing with it and like doing it their way, and I'm like, well, please, just I'm already here. Let's rope it in. Let's do it one way only. I remember on the oil leak, it was the sump studs. They were all stripped out, so I retapped them and I put the drop studs that go from 8 mil to 6 mil.
Hmm.
And I put red Loctite on them and I sealed them up. And what people would do is they would take them out when I wasn't looking and then like doing it their way. And I'm like, if anybody touches the red Loctite again, I'm gonna freak out. Okay, because by the way, I haven't slept in like 30 hours. I was on edge. I was going completely off White Monster. That was it.
Those are pretty good, actually.
Yeah, those are delicious.
They are sugar
Not
free.
sponsored by Monster, by the way. But yeah, and Glenn was just there the whole time for me. And also Glenn showed up. I always host cruises and I do my annual every year. I'm an ice cream addict. I will eat tubs of ice cream. I don't care who judges me, okay? When I'm in my a room after a breakup, there's a tub of ice cream in me. Okay. I'm listening to
All
like
right, we got to ask now. What kind of ice cream? All right.
what kind of ice cream?
Yeah.
Okay. I got a few flavors.
All right, let's hear them.
Baskin Robbins Gold Medal Ribbon, number one. The best
Okay.
one of all time. Caramel chocolate vanilla mix.
Okay.
Beach Day. Graham cracker with a little bit of blue raspberry. It's surprisingly good.
Ooh.
And also just this is kind of a dull way to end it, but I really like vanilla. I just really like vanilla.
I got a 7-year-old that likes vanilla. He doesn't like anything else. I'm
Yeah.
a chocolate peanut butter kind of guy.
Ooh,
Uh,
like a Reese's cup, man. I like it. I like
yeah.
it. I like it a
Uh-huh.
lot.
And then
And
there's this ice cream here locally that I've actually found out you can get other places, but there's a place that I worked at. It's actually one of my first jobs called Larry's Ice Cream on St. Pete Beach. Um, they had an ice cream flavor there called Smurf, which was blue raspberry ice cream with marshmallows in it. Right? You don't think it's
yeah,
but yeah, it was just so
that's,
good. It's always
that's
my
exactly what Beach Day is, except it adds graham cracker.
yeah, cool as hell. I bet you
Yeah,
it's awesome because
it,
that's one of my favorite flavors of ice cream.
it's so good.
But
It's like savory.
I'll freak you out with with my favorite ice cream of all time. You ready?
What is it?
Rum raisin.
Rum raisin. Okay.
I'm a rum raisin
Okay.
guy.
I'm not the kind of person to judge other people by what they like. They're your taste buds. You like it. Personally, you would never catch me in a million years eating rum raisin.
Oh, it's so good.
But yeah, going back to Glenn, so every year, every summer on July 19th, I host my annual ice cream, my magical journey to go get ice cream. That is the exact name. It is Aiden's magical journey to get the sweet nectar of ice cream.
I love it, dude.
And July 19th is National Ice Cream Day.
Okay.
So I remember my first year doing it, we had a whole slew of people show up. And in my second year, Glenn was the only one that showed up, and that meant so much to me that he showed up for that. Was just because I like to enjoy things with my friends, and I host a lot of cruises with them. I did my 18th birthday cruise. I did the ice cream cruises. I did
Hey man,
Aiden's graduation cruise.
the club is popping. I'm part of
Yeah.
the club now too, so I get all the emails and Glenn sure has that club dialed in, man. It's a
Oh yeah.
blessing actually, and I wish I was up there to participate in a lot of the stuff that you guys do, but I'm baffled at the amount of number one organization, but number two participation. The amount of events that you guys do. It's pizza
Oh
this
yeah.
and ice cream that and tech night this and tech night that. I'm like, damn, man, you guys got
Exactly.
it
And
going on up there.
I am part of two clubs. I want to give a shout out to the Pensacola Volkswagen Club, like
Mhm.
Pensacola VW happenings and all that. I know you, Glenn, and all them had kind of like a rough tussle, but I'm like kind of in the middle. Like I'm like, well, I like both sides. I mean, this is not what Volkswagens are about. This is
Yeah,
not
right
about a
on.
gang.
Right,
This is
right
not a
on.
gang war.
And I don't know anything about either side. So, I like Glenn and
Yeah,
I've heard of the other, Pensacola stuff and shoot, I like them too.
yeah, they're great guys and they're all great people. So yeah, so I was trying to say, yeah, but yeah, Glenn's a great guy. I can go on for Glenn for hours.
What do you think it is about Volkswagens that seem to attract just genuinely good people? Like, they say birds of a feather kind of flock together, but I feel like Volkswagens are the staple here. So what do you think?
I think it's because Volkswagens are just naturally happy cars. They have a big old smile on their face all the time.
Mhm.
So that's
Mhm.
one thing. And also just the people who grew up on Volkswagens, they all had somebody to mentor them. Just like some people are mentoring me. Because I'll be honest, I know how to work on my car a lot more than when I first got it, but still there's things I have no clue how to do. And I'll
Sure.
have to ask help. You
No,
go in
that's
a Mustang, because I've seen the Ford clubs, because me and my grandpa would go to Ford shows and all that. And you'll go there and they'll be like, well, they don't, it's just a constant battle to talk about themselves. And it's like, well, my seats are original. Well, my headlights are original. I have an original valve cover bolt. I'm like, I just have a Volkswagen. I think it's cool.
yeah, right.
But I mean, it's just the community. We're all together. It's a learning experience together. We all learn from each other, and that's what we do. Is we're a community together.
Yeah, love it, man. Love it. So let's fast forward a little bit. We'll go
Yeah.
outside of cars for just a second, but you're in college now, you said, right?
Oh yeah. I start Monday.
All right. So let's talk about that, right? How do you balance your life, your music, your school, and classic Volkswagens?
So the program I'm actually going in is air cooled mechanics.
No way, bro. They
I'm
have
going to
a
be
class.
so
They have a class for that?
So it's an aviational maintenance. It's
Okay.
aviation maintenance and engineering class,
Oh,
and
wow.
I have a full ride scholarship to go. And I by the way, I know nothing about planes, and I went to tour. I've just always wanted to fly. I've always That's just what I want to do. If I put myself to do it, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go do it. Like I like learning new things. Like I literally learned how to go do gunslinging the other day. That's just what I do. I just learn new things all the time.
Okay.
So I was like, well, I've always wanted to fly. I've always wanted to work on planes. And I go in the hangar where like their hangar is a classroom. So I look over at like the engines that you have to rebuild. I'm like, that's my motor. That's the same motor I have in my car. And they're all air cooled stuff. That's what they are. I'm like, and it kind of gave me a little bit of boost of confidence in that program. I was like, well, I know a little bit about this now. This is not nothing new to me. So
Cool.
I mean, it's going to be a hard class, I know, but I know I can get through it. That's my mindset is I know I can do it. I know I can get through it. That's how I get through working on the bug is I know I can do it. I know it's going to work again. I know we're going to get this fixed.
Well, they say attitude's everything, and you have
Yeah.
the right attitude. That's the best start period ever, right? Is
So
a positive attitude. What is next for the car?
what is next for the car? Right now, I don't want to jinx. I'm going to knock on wood here, but it's, I don't want to touch it because it's like, it's working fine. And I'm like, well, what if I want to do this? I'm like, well, we should do this. And then, no, I want to do dual carbs. But wait, the carb's working fine right now. But I think dual carbs is next. I think I want to do dual carbs, maybe some dual 34s. Um, I have always wanted to upgrade it to like a 1700 cc,
Right.
just because, but that's a lot of money and a lot of money that I don't have right now. So we're trucking along, and anything that just kind of piques my eye. I'll just get it.
Yeah,
Like
man.
I've always wanted a whale tail. I know it doesn't really fit the build because the build's always been like a little surfer bug I can go cruise around in. But I'm looking more towards like a 70s street machine. I've always seen these bugs where it's like got the center line rims, kind of that rake stance to it, got the
Yeah,
big whale tail in the back, like it's a
love it.
mean machine.
Yeah, I love that. No problem. And one day maybe you get that big motor.
Maybe, and it just right now I'm trying to keep it like trying to keep it dependable right now. That's kind of my goal is
Okay.
just keep it working, keep it going, do its regular maintenance, and this guy. It's the only thing that's really bothering right now is the suspension because that
What?
McPherson strut system,
Uh,
it's a pain in the butt. And one of the sway bar mounts, the head of the bolt came off and it came down and it made the sway bar go from this to like this. So the car's a little out of whack, but it's nothing I can't fix, something I can't not do, you know.
yeah, cool. Okay. Anything on the car left to restore, or is it are you pretty good there?
Yes, there's a lot to restore on the bug. The suspension, like I said, the suspension.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay.
I've done a disc brake conversion. I've kind of done the motor a bit, made it to where it's going. And the suspension is my worst fear because there's just so many little bolts and components and things I don't know about that kind of scare me a little bit. But I'm
Oh,
slowly learning and I'm slowly getting piece by piece. I
yeah, and
replaced the ball
as soon
joints
as
the
you
other
start
day.
working on them and diving in, you just like the rest of it, man, you're gonna pick it right up.
Oh yeah. And I believe I can. I believe I can do it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a learning process and it's a little scary because the whole front end was kind of rusted out. And it's all the bolts are like the if you twist on a bolt, it's gonna break. Like there's no saving it. There's no PB blast, anything I can do to it.
What about other Volkswagens? Any dreams of having one? Do you like buses? Like I've got a Gia. Do you like Gias? You like Type threes? You like things? What?
I do. So I like Westphalia camper buses. I love those.
Okay.
I do. I have always liked like a 68, 69 bug. Like I've always liked the more stock look, just a more stock thing, not anything too crazy, like lower, it's slammed to the ground. I know some people love to do that. And that's also what I love about the Volkswagen community is that we can kind of do anything we want to our cars and it's not going to be like we're going to be shamed for it.
Oh yeah,
Again,
love
I
that.
went to I went to a Ford show and some guy he completely changed a Mustang from what it was and people will criticize him saying that like well that's sacrilegious and all that. I'm like who cares? It's what makes you happy.
It's your
And that's
car. Yeah, exactly.
that's what I love about Volkswagens. You can have some guy that likes to slam it on the ground and I've literally seen a bug monster truck. Some guy put monster jam tires on a bug and it was awesome and just everyone
Hell
gets
yeah.
their so
That's absolutely our culture. And one of the things that I'm most proud of myself is regardless of your background, your career, or whatever you are, you know that you can go to a Volkswagen show and meet all walks of life and see cars from pristine paint to patina to absolute rust buckets, and they're all equally as cool.
yeah,
Speaking of, speaking of personality in these cars, have you seen my wife's paint job on our Carmen Gia?
I have not.
All right, I'm gonna show it to you.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's pimping. That is pimping right there. Yeah, I like that.
So
I like that a lot.
she's got some Porsche wheels going on it here in the next week or so. I'm just waiting on some parts. I just had to get two of the tires replaced. I bought four new tires for it. I tried to go somewhat staggered, um, but my measurements were off, and the tire for the back I got was a tiny bit too big. So I got a 185 60 15 for the Porsche 15 by 7 that I'm running, and the 185 can't cut it. So I went down to a 175 55 series. So it's a little smaller this way and a little smaller height wise.
Yeah.
And I've already taken the front and put it on the back, so I know it's going to fit. So I've actually got those wheels at the tire guy, dropped them off today. So yeah, getting that done. But back to you and the Volkswagen community. You're right. That's the coolest thing about, these cars is everybody has them done just a little bit different, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 100%. I mean, have I always wanted to cut a bug in half and make it a Manx Myers? Yes. That's like that would be one of my dream Volkswagens is a Manx Myers.
Okay, that's cool as hell. One of mine is Volksrad. I love the
Volkswagen.
Volksrad.
I
Yeah.
have seen those. I do like the Volkswagens. There's actually one for sale. One of my buddies has ones for sale for like I think 9 grand right down here.
Yeah, I love those. I love chopping the top and the big motor and taking all the fenders off. And I think that's the coolest thing
Oh
to,
yeah.
to do with a Beetle. But let's talk about the future a little bit. All right. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Because I know a lot of guys that say they've had a Beetle since high school, right? And now they're my age, and they've had this car 25, 30, 35 years. Do you see yourself in 10 years still driving the same Beetle?
I do see myself driving this, not daily driving it, of course. That would be absurd. But I think, yeah, I definitely see myself keeping it and driving it around, maybe giving it to my kid, giving it to my
Heck
kid and
yeah.
letting him enjoy the same experience I have. And like, I mean, I've made so many memories in that car through high school. And what's funny is that like a lot of people they don't remember the memories that they had in high school because they're old. I remember them because they just happened. And they didn't happen just too long ago. Like they say you can't fit 8 people in a bug, you can do it. You can definitely do that.
I've got some
I've done that
wild
before.
memories of my high school times. I had my car around your age. I drove my car from 16, the summer I was turning 17, I got that car, 96, and I drove that car till I was 21. And I actually
Okay.
sold it to my brother who had it for another couple years and then sold it to one of his friends and then we lost track of it. But just to talk about the memories and the high
Yeah.
school times and the craziest stories ever, just like yours. And looking at the picture behind me now, I had a little bit of a different style roof rack. It wasn't quite like that, but we would put four, five, six surfboards on that sucker, and I would have two people sitting in the front seat, one sitting right on the e-brake, one sitting, and then I'd have three or four people in the back seat, and we'd be going up and down, the West Coast, especially when there was a break. We would surf, and we go look for, so we'd drive down south to Venice, we'd check the north and the south jetty, and then we would drive to another beach and check there. And we even did a ton of East Coast trips where we drive straight
Nice.
up into Orlando, straight out to Patrick's Air Force Base, and straight out to Cocoa Beach. And yeah, man, I got a ton of memories in that car. So when I hear you say that, I'm like,
Yeah.
cool, because
Yeah,
I have the
exactly.
same memories. I made a shit ton of memories in my Beetle.
Yeah, there's a lot like I told you in the little biography, is there's a lot of stories that I can tell my grandkids and not tell my grandkids.
That's okay. That's okay. That's what makes life so cool.
Yeah, I mean it's I look at that car and I if I ever thought about selling it, I don't think I could put myself to do it. Because every time I get in that car, anytime I don't know, anytime I look at I don't know the back seat, I'll remember a time that like I all my brother's friends were piled up in the back seat and like I'm telling you, every time we hit a bump, the exhaust would scrape down and you could see sparks flying out the back.
Oh,
We had
dude.
we had probably 5 guys back there.
Wow.
And
And if you do ever end up selling this Beetle, don't beat yourself up, man, because I sold mine, right, from way back then, and I've had these bugs I've owned over the course of my life now that I've been able to establish new memories in. And I've got, in this new kind of level of nostalgia through these other cars that I've owned over the course of time. So if life takes you down that bumpy road, try to hang on to it because I sure wish I did and I would have a lot of my cars, right? Especially the first one. But
yeah,
if life does end up taking you down that path, don't worry, brother. You'll get another one and it'll be
yeah.
just as cool.
You know what would happen is I would sell it and then like years later I would find it again and I'd buy
It'll
it back.
come back to you. Yeah, yeah,
That is
yeah.
exactly what would happen. I'm
Be-
telling you,
be-
man, that's
Yeah.
exactly what would happen.
Yeah, because they find us and they sure do. I love that. And you're exactly right. I bet you it would. Still waiting for mine from high school to find me. I'll tell
Oh
you
yeah.
what. Um, Now, your mom gave you some advice back in the day that's really stuck with you. And this quote that you have in your backstory, if you follow your dreams and you don't half-ass it, you can do anything. How often do you think about that?
I think about that every day, every single day. Anytime I try and do something, anything I put my mind to, I said, don't half-ass it. Don't half-ass that doing. Because you're going to wonder, because Matthew McConaughey said this, you're going to wonder what it would be like if you didn't. If you did it all the way, if you half-ass it, you're going to wonder what would have happened if I didn't, and what would have happened if I would have gone the full ways and I would have done it all, put it in my all, and if it went wrong, it went wrong, and you do that, and you'll get whatever you want. If you're persistent, you'll accomplish whatever you need.
What would you tell another teen who's maybe chasing a dream like this, that might seem unrealistic to some people?
Yeah. Um, this kind of is a big question for me because this was the kind of thing. It was a big step. It was a big decision. I had a perfectly reliable truck, and I was going to sell this for something that breaks down all the time, and it's just like a dream. And to some people, it was a stupid dream. And what I would be is don't let other people decide what your dreams are and decide whether they're good or not. If you like something, go for it.
Heck
If
yeah.
you like that car, go for it. Whether it's a Thunderbird, a Bug, a bus, a Mustang, Camaro, whatever. If you like it, you like it. And if you want it, you go get it. Don't care what anybody else says.
Great advice.
Because that's what I had to tell myself is for a long time, I seeked everybody else's approval to like, well, you're not going to want a classic car, dude. You're not going to want to drive a stick every day. You're not going to want to do that. But then I was like, well, I want to do this. So no matter what you say or not, this
Yeah,
is what I want to do.
I did it too in high school as well, and I wanted it too. And I'm telling you, I think the first day I brought my Beetle home, my dad had this big ass house on the water. He says, what are you doing parking that thing in my driveway?" I'm like, "Oh man, got freaking shot to the heart, man."
Yeah, I know.
Right before that, I had a '78 Ford truck that didn't have floorboards, and it leaked oil too pretty bad. And he said the same thing about that truck. He's like, "Man, of all the vehicles you could have, why do you keep picking these cars that nobody else wants?" I'm like, "Because everybody wants these cars. You just don't
Yeah,
realize
exactly.
that."
I'm not gonna lie. From when I've bought the Volkswagen, I have noticed and I think this is everywhere. There's been a trend. There's been this almost like a Volkswagen aesthetic that I've been seeing, where people just buy them for the aesthetic, and it's like they're going up in value, man. They're
Yeah,
going
yeah.
up, and people
Because
are wanting them.
they're getting harder and harder to find. Even though
Yeah,
like we're in the culture and we're on marketplace every day, I joke around all the time and say that, I'm on marketplace probably 2 hours a day looking for Volkswagens and opportunities. I probably spend too much time on marketplace, but they're harder and harder to find. The prices are going up. I mean, we're in a little bit of a down market right now for classic cars as a whole. But we're not down like we were, in the 90s. In the
yeah. You
90s,
could
I
probably
paid.
for $300.
Yeah, dude, exactly. And I talk to guys all the time that are like, "Yeah, man, I got my first Beetle for $50." I'm like, "What, dude? I paid 2 grand for mine, and that was a good deal." But back then in '96, this car was a '72 standard Beetle, auto stick, 76,000 miles, man. It was a one owner. I bought it from a little old lady, and it was her baby. And she
Yeah,
wanted to give me all the nuances. And, "You sure you don't want me to take you around the parking lot and show you how to shift?" And I'm like, "Lady, no, I want the car. Like, here's the money. Like, let me get out of your hair." Like, I knew what I wanted, and I wanted to just get my show on the road. But yeah, man. But yeah, no, back to you for sure. How about life lessons?
life
What's this?
lesson,
Yeah, what's this car? What's Volkswagen taught you maybe about life that has nothing to do with cars?
humility.
Hey,
I've
fantastic
before
lesson
so
in a young man.
I will
Fantastic
I
lesson.
will be very honest with you. Before I got the bug, I was a very boastful person. Like I would boast about my guitar stuff and how good I am at guitar, even though I look back on the videos of me playing at that time, and I wasn't that good. But like I would tell everybody I knew how to work on cars and I knew how to do this because I thought it would make me look cool. And it was almost like lying a little bit, but it was very much boastful about myself. And then when I got the bug, it was like there's levels to this. Like I need to humble myself and I need to kind of take advice from other people. And I need to kind of humble myself because the car is now one of my top priorities. Because if I don't have a car in the morning, I'm not going to school or else I got to find another way. So I got to humble myself and I got to kind of just, I don't know what the word is, just stay true. Stay true to myself and kind of put myself in check. And like I said, I'll probably say it 10 more times. I don't want to boast about myself.
Well, let's speaking of the word then, the word, a word. Give me one word that describes the Volkswagen community.
One word. I read this question and it took me like I can't it was like a took me like 2 days to think of an answer. It's just it would all come down to passion.
Hey, man. Great.
Learning, and passion.
Okay. I
Or
dig it.
some passion. There we go. Passion.
Hey,
So
that's a great answer.
passion. That's what we do. And if like passion is we want to pass down this. We want to like just like me, like my buddy Justin, like I was saying, he was there from the beginning. He was there like when I was in my garage, just like looking at this, like what do I do here? What the heck am I looking at? And he was there and he passed down this passion to me. And I'm also teaching other guys. Like one of my buddies, he's become a junior this year and he's getting his car and he wants a bug. And I'm helping him
Cool.
look for
Cool.
I'm helping him look for one. I'm sending him listings on what to look for, what to do with it. And if he ever needs help, I'm always there for him because people were always there for me.
Beautiful. Love that.
So
If
yeah, I might not know everything, but I mean, I have learned a lot from being humble.
Excellent attitude, man. Here we go again, full circle on your attitude. You got a great attitude. If your future grandkids are listening to this episode one day, because it's going to live forever, it's online. As soon as it goes live, buddy, it's
Yeah.
there forever. What's going to be one story that you hope they remember?
One story I hope they remember. Um, there's too many to count. So when I was going down to Destin, Florida, in that area because I had a paint shop offer me a quote because I wanted to do a white two-tone. As you
Okay.
can see in the picture, that never happened. So I'm trying to go to a quote, and the distributor, like I said, gas went into the float bowl, and I was like 30 miles from home. And I break down and I'm on the road. It is hot. It's like 105 degrees outside in Florida. It's always hot here. And we go and I don't know what to do. By the way, at that time, I didn't have any money. I had like $30 in my account.
Mm.
I could not pay for a tow truck. I called a tow truck and they were like, it'll be $200. They wanted like 200, $300 just to tow me home. And I'm like, no, I can't afford that. So I call my buddy again, Justin. I call him and he comes out there and we're like, what do we do? What do we do? And then a guy in an F-250 passes by and he makes a U-turn. And he comes into there, he comes by me, he parks up next to me, and he goes, you're Aiden, right? I'm like, how do you know me? Or something like, you're in the Volkswagen club. I'm in the club too. I'm gonna go grab my trailer and we're gonna get you home, bud. And I'm like, whoa,
Mm.
holy moly. Like your friends are always gonna be there for you. And like man, that was like I don't know if you're religious, but God was there. God, the Lord was there, and He was helping me out. And if Ian wasn't there, I don't think I would have gotten that car home. I don't know how I would have.
That's so cool, man. And to give credit where it's due, I love that. And I got a story that they're going to remember.
Oh yeah,
How about that their grandfather wrote a song about a car that he couldn't get. And
oh
he
yeah,
ended up finding it and it found him. I mean, what a cool story.
yeah.
What a
And
cool story.
it's a catchy song. It's a really I still play it, and it's a pretty catchy song, man. And like
Like
I
that's
think I've only
catchy. It won a contest.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've performed it a few other places. I don't perform it as much as my other songs I do because a lot of my other songs are a little more relatable to people. They're,
Right.
you know, oh, she loved me, and some people, I always tell people before I play the song, I go, if you ask me, if you ever talk to me, I'm gonna talk your head off about Volkswagens. So I've talked your head off about so much, well, so much. I want to put everything I talk about into a song. So yeah, that's every time I play it, it gets people happy and it makes me happy to play it. And just a fun song.
Heck
Really
yeah. All right, man. I got some rapid fire questions for you.
rapid fire. Let's do it.
These questions demand a fast response. As I always say every episode, if a story comes of it, I'm not going to talk you out of it, but these questions are designed for a fast response. All right.
Hmm.
You ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right, rapid fire. Manual or automatic?
Manual all day.
Manual. Okay. Super Beetle or standard Beetle?
Super Beetle, because in a standard Beetle, you can't see me fitting a chick in the car. The front. So in the front, it's like a tradition for me. Whenever I'm on a date, I open up the front, and we all sit down together. And I remember I know you said you want to interrupt me out of the
Oh
story,
man,
but
that's cool. I'm
I
never going to
remember
stop
with
you.
with my with my girlfriend at the time, we went down under what we call the 3 Mile Bridge, and we were just sitting there. She was all up over me, and she was had her around me, and we were just looking at the ocean, and the pastor of my church pulls up next to me because he recognized the car.
Oh my goodness.
I'm like, "Hey, Joe." And that's kind of our little thing, was that, like, you can't fit a chick in the front of a standard Beetle.
Okay.
I can. So
So Super Beetle it is.
Super Beetle it is all day.
All right. How about this one? Oval or split window?
Oval window. I think that I can't see out the back of a split window. I know they're cool, but I can't see out the back.
Okay. Stock or lowered?
Stock. Stock.
Okay. I dig it. Chrome or black wheels?
Chrome wheels all day. I am an absolute, like, I know this isn't a Volkswagen rim, but I am an absolute Krager lover. I love Krager SS. Any slot mags, Kragers, I love chrome wheels.
Great looking wheel.
Yeah.
I love those as well. My whole background is lowrider culture.
Hmm.
Krager's were real big in lowrider culture back in the day. So yeah, man, I like those a lot. Roof rack or no roof rack?
Obviously, roof rack. I got to carry my surfboards around.
Heck yeah, heck yeah. How about this one? Carbureted or fuel injected?
Carburetor, because I don't know how to work a fuel injector.
You're about
If
to
I'm on
learn
the side of
though.
the road and I could just pull out an idle jet valve, I can just clean it out and then be on my way. If I got to pull out fuel injectors and handle wiring, the less wiring, the better.
What is your favorite VW engine sound?
When it's not breaking,
When it's running,
so
yeah.
I feel like most people are gonna say like the tweeter exhaust, but honestly, my favorite sound is either the horn or the blinker, like the blinker switch. I
Hey,
don't know what it is with that. It's just like it's a little chime.
cool. I dig that for sure. Awesome.
Yeah.
How about favorite road that you've driven on?
Favorite road I've ever driven on, and I have a story about this too.
Okay,
Um,
let's hear it.
so every single day, every day, I haven't missed it in a long time. I do this drive called the Shoreline Loop. And in this Shoreline Loop, it is not more than a 8-minute drive. And I call it the Gulf Breeze Tail of the Dragon, because it goes through all these beautiful winding roads. It's got trees, really beautiful $1 million homes on a beach side, and you're just cruising through these corners and taking these corners real nice, and it's just a nice road to drive on. And I remember I every day it was my, like, kind of relax. It's kind of get my mind off of things. With college right now, it's been really stressful, and I can just listen to music, drive that road, and just cruise. That's it. I can get my mind off of everything.
I dig it.
So
Cool
it's a cool.
story too.
like I said, not more than an 8 minute drive, and it's just around some corners, and there's no stop signs or red lights. It's just straight around cruising, and then you're done.
How about favorite or best, should I say, VW show that you've attended?
Um, Favorite show I've ever attended was our the Volkswagen Pensacola Volkswagen Club or VW Club Emerald Coast National Meet. We do it at
Wow.
Five Flags Speedway, and it's a 3 day long car show where we just camp out there, and we ever from people all around the world, Louisiana, Mississippi, Kentucky. Like I've seen people come from Montana driving their bug or bus all the way down to see this
Wow.
show. And
Hell
they'll
yeah.
probably have last year they had about 1,200 cars.
Dang, man. That's a
So
big show.
one show I really want to go to is Bugs on the Bayou,
Yeah.
hosted by Derrick Henry. I really want to go to that one. I think that one's gonna be pretty fun.
Yeah,
So
Derek's a special guy. He's been on the podcast too, and we've seen each other at several shows. Fantastic human being.
yeah, he's an awesome guy, and he was also there from the beginning. I was actually one of the first podcasts he went on that I went on. I went
Um,
on his podcast on
oh
YouTube. So,
yeah, cool man. Yeah, he's a special one for sure.
yeah.
Here, how about one tool? One tool every VW owner should carry.
Um, a tool, not a part, right?
Yeah, tool.
Okay. I always carry around. I went to Walmart and I got one of those like $40 1 ton trolley jacks. It is so much easier to change a tire when you have that little trolley jack. Will fit. It will literally fit in the corner of your front, and it's so much better than that one you have to like put on the side and crank up. It's just if you have that, it helps so much, and it's not more than 10 pounds. You just carry it around with you.
Yeah, so cool. A jack. I like it. How about this one? One VW myth that is completely wrong.
One VW myth that's completely wrong. Probably they don't get chicks because yeah, they I don't know if it's where the area I'm in or like because I'm a good looking dude, but like um you can drive everyone thinks you got to drive a Mustang, a Camaro or anything like that. No, you want chicks, you buy a bug. You buy a bug and they will
Well,
come flocking.
how about favorite VW color?
Favorite VW color, I have always liked I actually really like Glenn's bug, the 72.
Hmm.
He has a 72 that looks like more of like an early 60s, and I love like the emerald marine green on that. I also really like the yellow, and the one I have is the royal blue, I think, which I really like that one too.
Yeah,
So,
great color. That blue's a great color.
oh yeah.
Um, how about this one? It's a good one. This might even generate a story. If your Beetle could talk, what would it say about you as a person?
Actually, this was one of the hardest questions. I don't know. I don't know if it would thank me or call me an idiot, but I don't know. I think it would probably I think it would thank me for getting it out of that barn. It never got touched. It was like it was meant to be driven and it didn't. And like I said, it sat in that barn for 40 years. It only had 15,000 miles when I bought it.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm not joking. It had such low mileage when I bought it. And that just proves another point that like it just sat there. And
Right.
I think it would honestly thank me for taking it out of there and just giving it a new life and not just keeping it in a garage all the time and taking it out for a show like once a week. I drive that thing every day.
Yeah, I dig that for sure. Awesome.
So yeah, that's kind of that's drive it every day. I mean, thanks for driving me every day and keeping up with me and
So,
kind of
so gratitude. It would say thank you. I dig
yeah.
that. I love it.
I
And
hope it would thank me. It better thank me.
yeah,
Jeez.
I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna agree because you drive it a lot, you pay attention to it, you work on it, you give it the attention it deserves. And that's really when you hear a lot of folks when when they sell their cars or whatever, usually the in the description, that's what you hear. I don't have time for this anymore. It just sits there. It
Yeah.
doesn't get the attention it deserves. Sounds like yours does. So that's pretty dope, man. All right, how
Yeah,
about this? Finish this sentence for me. Life is better when.
life is better when you enjoy the little things and you have gratitude.
Mm,
You thank God for everything and you appreciate what you have. If you spend your whole life chasing more, you're never going to have enough.
never gonna be satisfied.
I mean it's like could I get a better bug? Could I get one? Could I get one that's $30,000 that some guy went completely through and it's never going to break down? In the future, yeah, I could totally do that, but it's the little things that count. I mean, every time my bug it does something funny. The other day, like yesterday, I was driving and it was torrential downpour. Like my and my windshield, my bug kind of pranked me, and the windshield wipers wouldn't turn on.
Oh,
And I'm like, okay, we're not doing this right now. And they turned on. I was like, okay, thanks. So
you just had
just
to
gotta
talk. You just had to talk to her.
appreciate the little things in life, and you'll be happy.
Does your car have a name?
Maggie.
Maggie. Okay. Yeah, she's got a name, all right. And that's a wrap for this episode of DubLife Diaries. Thanks for riding along with us and diving into these incredible stories of the people in the dubs that drive their dreams. If you loved today's episode, don't forget to subscribe or hit that follow button so you never miss an adventure. Do you have a story to tell or know somebody else who's living the dub life? Awesome! Reach out to us. You can find us on all socials at DubLife Diaries or shoot me an email. I'm not hard to find. DubLifeDiaries@gmail.com. Until next time, keep the engines humming and the wheels turning and always follow the road that inspires you. This is Joe Person. I'm signing off. I'll catch you on the next ride.